Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here as we get ready for our sixth stop of the season for the NNSCRA Gaming Indycar Series. So far, we've been Speedway, Road Course, Speedway, Road Course, Speedway, Road Course. We're back into Speedway again. Well, actually, we've been Road Course, Speedway, Road Course, Speedway, Road Course, and now we're at Speedway. But, flip reverse it and you've got it right, as we are here for our third Speedway start of the season at Iowa, which this is going to be technically our only short track stop, as well as Iowa Speedway only tacks in at 0.875 miles on the length distance. So, short track racing with Indy cars, this is going to be a very interesting race. And with the points as close as they are, it could be a very big point shakeup as well here tonight. I thought the points were close when we were heading into last week's race at Road America, but we leave Road America and the points are still just as close as they were before. We do have a new points leader, however, and we'll get into all the point situation in just a moment, but first we'll get to our starting grid, as on your front row, it's going to be Jake Rogers lining up on the inside of row number 1. Jake Rogers trying to continue on the streak. So far, 5 races, 5 different race winners. The most recent, of course, being Kev Shearer last week, and he'll start alongside of Matt Haas on the 28, who also is looking for his first trip to victory lane. So that's your front row. Let's take you back further through the field. Zach Flickinger, who finished a solid top 5 last week at Road America, rolls off on the outside of row 2. Carson Gum on the inside. Carson Gum has worked his way into the top 10 in the stands. He's 7th in points coming to this race. Jordan Lopez will start in the 5th position alongside of his row 3 partner, I guess you will call him, and that's Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin really looking for a good run today. He dropped to dead last in the point stands after being the only driver to finish off the lead lap due to mechanical problems last week at Road America. Charles Jackson will start alongside of Tripantacchio Vernio, last week's winner. Kev Shearer alongside of Mason Wood. Matthew Rodriguez, our winner from Texas, will start alongside of Cole Baker. Then it's Noah Cars starting alongside of Nathan Ormond. Jay Jefferson and Pichu London in the next row. Then you've got Austin LaPlante, who really needs a good run. He's been on a downward spiral since his second place finish at the season opener of St. Petersburg. Alongside of him, your Long Beach race winner, Alexander Rowe. Jacob Rose, who won at Phoenix, starts alongside of the points leader coming in this race, Eli Bright. And in the final row, the former points leader, Chris Dodd, and Johnny Gardner. So as we're moments away from getting the command to fire him up, the point stands coming into this race. Eli Bright is the points leader, 1 point advantage over Jacob Rose. Matt Haas is 3rd in points, he's 3 points back. Noah Cars and Cole Baker, they are 4th and 5th, 5 and 7 points back respectively. We'll give you the rest in just a moment, but let's get the command to fire him up.
Drivers, start your engines!
50 laps on tap here today. Chris Dodd came into Road America last week as the points leader. He comes in tonight to Iowa, 6th in the point stands. He dropped way back after a poor running last week. He is 12 points out of the top spot, and the rest of your top 10 in points, Carson Gum is 7th. Kev Shearer jumped to 8th with his win. Mason Wood is 9th, and Pichu London completes your top 10. 50 laps as we're ready to go short track racing here tonight at Iowa Speedway. Jake Rogers and Matt Haas looking for their first wins of the season, and for the 6th time this year, let's roll! Matt Haas trying to use that outside line to get the race lead through 1 and 2. Jake Rogers battles back on the inside though, and I think we had a spin. Caution's out. Spin in the middle of the pack. I couldn't tell who it was, but I saw the smoke lingering there as someone got sideways off of 2. Yellow flag waves for the first time already on lap number 1, and Jake Rogers leads the field back to the caution flag. Could not tell who it was. I just saw a stream of white smoke down the back straightaway, and there you see it lingering. Looks like it may have been just a single car spin there down the back, but it brought the yellow flag out nonetheless. And it looks like it could very well have been Nathan Ormond in the 1. So caution waves for the first time here today on lap 1. Let's take a look and see what happened. Jake Rogers leads us under pacing. Well, it looks like Ormond is right up on the back bumper of, I think that's Chris Dodd. Oh, and then, I'm sorry, that wasn't Chris Dodd, that was Cole Baker, and Baker got into the wall. And Nathan Ormond just couldn't slow down in time. He was right on the back of that 8 car, and that's what snapped him around. Fortunately, nobody else hit him, and that was all we had happen. question the damage maybe on the right side of the 8 car. He might come to pit road, just try repairing that, because he was running fairly close to the tail end of the field, and Nathan Norman, don't know how much damage that's going to do to the front nose of that machine. Aerodynamics not exactly that important being a short track, but you want to make sure your car is running at least up to speed. So that's what puts under the caution. A single car spin off turn number 2. Let's go back for the restart. We come back here. We haven't gotten the 1 to green signal yet, but problems for Jake Rogers, the race leader. He just crossed the start-finish line and immediately pulled it down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's running down on the apron, so I don't know what's exactly wrong with Jake Rogers, but started on the pole, held off Matt Haas there on that first lap, and now looks like some kind of issues for that driver. Well, hang on. No, he is coming to pit road. Sounds like he's under power, so it's not a engine problem. That engine is still running, but whatever the problem is, apparently they're deciding they're going to come give up the race lead, come to pit road, try and diagnose it, maybe try and get him back out there before we end up going back green. But what a tough break having to pit from the lead for Jake Rogers. So that will turn the race lead over when we go back green to Matt Haas in the 28 car, and we have gotten the 1 to green signal. So we'll follow Jake Rogers down here to his first pit stall, see if it's something that they can fix, get him back out there. He'll restart at the tail end of the field if that's the case. And oh well, they're changing tires. I wonder if maybe he had a flat. Left side tires only, and they're going to send him back out. So I wonder if he had maybe a loose wheel, maybe a flat left front. It'd be kind of interesting for him to have a flat only 1 lap into the race, but you never know. Whatever the case, though, they got it back out there, so he'll try and fight his way back up to the front of the field as Matt Haas inherits the lead, and he'll get us back green here on lap 6 of 50, giving us a total of 45 laps to go this evening. Zach Flickinger will be second, with Carson Gunn third. Jordan Lopez and Tripataki Vernio will be the top 5. Top 5 have not been victory lane yet. Top 6 if you count Mason Wood restarting 6th place. Green flag back out here at Iowa. Matt Haas gets a nice jump over 2nd place Zach Flickinger. It looks like the battle will be on for 3rd. Carson Gum, Jordan Lopez hounding him for that position. Sticks the nose down low. Almost got into his left rear quarter panel, but they keep it together, at least for the moment. While this battle is heating up for 3rd, the battle for the lead is hot and heavy. Flickinger got a nice run into turn 1. May have drifted up just the least little bit there out of 2, and he lost a tiny bit of ground, but he is there. And I think I know what Flickinger's doing. I think Flickinger's trying to find a lane a little bit higher than the low line, because you see here, watch Matt Haas. He's going to run right there at the bottom lane of the dark gray. Flickinger tries about a half groove higher, probably realizing if he's going to make a move and pull alongside of Matt Haas, he's got to get the outside line to work. Keeps drifting up there through turns 2 and turn 4, trying to get the run on the straightaway. Got a nice run down the front straightaway here. So Flickinger getting something working up there, and now here comes Jordan Lopez down to the bottom again. That's for 3rd on Carson Gunn. Gunn gotten a little squirrely there off 2. He keeps it together, and look at this! Oh my goodness, Flickinger says, you open up the door, I'm going to fill the spot. Matt Haas slipped up just the least little bit there in 3, and Flickinger was there to capitalize, move Flickinger to the race lead. So Haas slips back into 2nd, and the battle for 3rd's back on again. Carson Gunn going to brush the wall off of 2, and that may give the 3rd position over to Jordan Lopez. Indeed it will, and Carson Gunn may not be done losing positions. Tripataki Vernio now to the bottom of the racetrack. That's for 4th. Jump back, see about Jake Rogers, see if he's up to speed after having to make that unscheduled stop, and yes indeed he is up to speed. He's already passed 2 cars, 2 Penske machines of Johnny Gardner, Nathan Norman, and now he's working on Jacob Rose. So he is up to speed and he has picked up some spots. That is the 8 of Cole Baker. Remember we saw him have Nathan Norman run into the back of him there for our first caution. You gotta wonder if that might have caused some kind of problems, because for these drivers and these cars, the engine and all that stuff is in the back of the race car. So maybe that contact with the rear of his machine caused some mechanical problems for him. There's Nathan Orman, the guy who ran into the back of him, not running too much better. Zach Flickinger still showing the way, and now it's a three-man fight for the second position. Matt Haas has it, Jordan Lopez wants it. 4 drivers up here at the front that are yet to go to victory lane this season. You could bet they'd love to do it here tonight at Iowa. I knew heading into this race I was going to call this race at one point or another Ohio. And you watch, we'll go to mid-Ohio in 2 weeks, and I'll at some point call it Iowa. A couple of teammates back there. Well, I was going to go back and follow that battle with the teammates, and all of a sudden Jordan Lopez stepped out on Matt Haas. I don't know if he's going to be able to make the move, though. He had to really get out of the throttle in order to make the corner there in 3 and 4, but now he keeps it to the inside still in 1 and 2. I think he might clear him coming off the second corner. Maybe. Yes, he does, going into 3. I saw some teammates back here, both the Ganassi cars. That is Jay Jefferson out in front. Or no, that's Austin LaPlante. It's hard to tell them apart until you see the number. Then you got a Penske car separating him from his teammate Jay Jefferson. Right now, LaPlante in 8th. Jefferson is currently in 10th. Battle on for this 5th position. Matthew Rodriguez, our winner from the last time we were at Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway. Trying to get into the top 5. Trying to get by Mason Wood in the 12th. Now trying to reel in Zach Flickinger for the race lead, but Flickinger right now has almost 2 seconds in hand over the 14. And that time I opened it up by another 7 1/1000ths. Let's go back to that battle for 5th place. Matthew Rodriguez kind of diamonding the corner there, a little wider in the entry of the corner and able to drive it down deeper on the exit of 2. One thing I've noticed here, especially up at the front, is turns 3 and 4 seem to be the turns that drivers, if their cars aren't handling so well, it's very difficult to hold the bottom. We saw Matt Haas slip up twice in that corner. Once that gave the lead to Zach Flickinger, and the second time allowed Jordan Lopez to be able to get by for second place. Haas trying to catch Jordan Lopez. Meanwhile, Tripatacchio Vernio is trying to catch Haas. His 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Kev Shearer went to victory lane last week, and he beat Eli Bright. Well, those two rekindling that race back at Road America, because they are nose to tail right now. Kev Shearer currently is in 10th. Eli Bright right behind him in 11th, and Eli Bright came into this race as the points leader. 1 point over Jacob Rose, 3 points over Matt Haas. Haas is running up in 3rd. Jacob Rose running a little bit further back. There he is. I think he's running somewhere maybe around the 16th position. Eli Bright to the inside on Kev Shearer. Two drivers who had the best cars last week at Road America. Kev Shearer may lose some valuable positions here as he gets kicked up the high side. Look who else has gotten up here. How about the comeback for Jake Rogers? Trouble! Kev Shearer in the wall, and he collects Alexander Rowe. Both cars spin to the bottom of the racetrack. That probably will be a caution, and indeed it is. Caution out for the 2nd time tonight. Kev Shearer getting into the wall. And came down across the nose of Alexander Rowe. A couple of former winners from this season collected up in this one. And the guy who did not want to see that caution, I think, might have been the guy we're looking at right now, Zach Flickinger, who was setting a blistering pace, was nearly 3 seconds over Jordan Lopez at the time. 4 car of Noah Carsway back here as well. I don't know what happened with him. Alexander Rowe and Kev Shearer, I think Alexander Rowe might be okay. He may have nosed a little bit in the inside wall. Kev Shearer, though, is going to have some damage on the right side because he slapped that wall pretty hard for him to shoot back down in front of the 22. Caution's out, though, for the second time tonight. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened. Well, Kev Shearer was up on the high side after Eli Bright put him there. Oh, there might have been a little bit of contact with the right front of Jake Rogers and the left rear of Kev Shearer. That may have caused him to go up into the wall. Hits the wall, comes down across the nose of Alexander Rowe. Both cars going to spin down to the inside line. Both drivers holding the brakes. And you look at the 22, I don't think he hit the wall at all. Little tap with the nose for Kev Shearer. And no, the 22 never touched anything. The only damage he could possibly have might be to the right front of his nose when Kev Shearer came down across it. Oh, boy, he almost got into the back of Kev Shearer there. I almost wonder if that might have been a little bit of a message sent. Alexander Rowe maybe not appreciating the fact he got taken out there by Kev Shearer. But really, neither driver got taken out. They both kind of scraped through that with very minimal damage. So far we've had 2 cautions, and really the reasons for the cautions have been rather mediocre. A solo car spin off turn 2 for our first caution, and then 2 cars spinning down the back straightaway for our second one. Let's go back now for the green flag, see if Zach Flickinger can keep the race lead now on this restart. Midway through this race, as the green flag will come back out on lap 27 of 50, so we'll have 23 laps to go. Make that 24 laps to go when the green flag comes back out. There you see Noah Cars in the inside line. He is the only car a lap down in the 22nd position. The reason being, he made an unscheduled pit stop under green flag conditions back on lap 19. We're still trying to figure out what was going wrong with him. But he is off the lead lap, so tough break there for him. He would love to be able to get ahead of Zach Flickinger on this restart, maybe get a quick caution and get back on the tail end of the lead lap. But all 22 cars are still running, 21 of them on the lead lap. Zach Flickinger restarts the leader with Jordan Lopez in second, Matt Haas, Trevor Vernio, Mason Wood, your top 5. Then it's Matthew Rodriguez, Carson Gum, Austin Plant, Jay Jefferson, and Eli Bright, your top 10. Green flag back out here at Iowa. Flickinger gets around Noah Cars very easily. Jordan Lopez not so lucky though. Has to try and use the outside line. Car in the wall, that was Matt Haas. He nearly got run over by Vernio. Vernio was able to get to the inside though, and the 28's going to lose some spots down the back straightaway and here through 3 and 4. On camera angle. There you see the 28. Oh, there's something wrong with him. Oh, there's another car up in the wall. One of the Ganassi cars. That is Jefferson. Yep, that was. Way up the racetrack went the 10, and there you see Matt Haas continuing to lose spots. He's going to drop outside the top 10 after he got the wall pretty well, and there's another car way up the track. That is Mason Wood. So apparently now with these tires being worn, oh, another car really hard in the wall. That was Mason Wood again. He clobbered the wall off 2. Almost came down to his teammate Jonathan Zorlin. And there's another car in the fence. That's the lap car of Noah Cars. Look at this. Oh my goodness, he is way up the track there, and he was scraping the wall, as was Mason Wood. We're starting to see now drivers with the cooler tires on these restarts not finding the grip they had before when the tires were fresh, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of drivers having difficulty holding the bottom. But Zach Flickinger back out in front, starting to pull away from Jordan Lopez once again, almost a full second in hand. Then you've got Trevor Vernio back in third, Carson Gum in fourth, with Matthew Rodriguez in fifth. And this was a driver that I was going to go back and look at before we end up having that caution with Kev Shearer and Alexander Rowe, was Jake Rogers. Remember, he came to pit road while leading under our first caution, gave up the race lead, had to fight his way back. He's all the way up already to the 9th position. That 98 car's on his way. Another car way up the track, that's Jonathan Zorlin. He was in 10th. He's about to lose the spot to another driver that's been having difficulty there. Oh, and there goes Zorlin into Jacob Rose. He saves it, though. They both save it, and Rose nearly came up into Johnny Gardner. And now Gardner up and into the fence out of turn number 4. Boy, these drivers are having a handful with their race cars right now. At least mid-pack. Zach Flickinger's car looks good to go, though. Pretty steady through the corners, able to hold the bottom. He may have one of the best handling cars in the field, and maybe that's why he's out in front. And you can bet he does not want to see a caution again. The caution bunched him back up last time when he was growing his lead more and more every lap. He's continuing to do that here under this run, and so he does not want to see that yellow flag. Let's go back here. This is where a lot of the action is going on. Carson Gum in third, Austin LaPlante in fourth, Matthew Rodriguez fifth. You got the points leader Eli Bright in this mix, along with the pole sitter Jake Rogers and Charles Jackson in the 11th. That's about fourth on back through ninth right now on the grid. All nose to tail here going through 1 and 2. Carson Gum jumped up to 7th in the point standings last week at Road America, so with this run tonight, we could see him as far up as in the top 5. Austin LaPlante, we documented last week at Road America how ever since his second place finish to Noah Carr's back at the first race of St. Petersburg, his finishes have really not been anything to brag about. Tonight he's having a good run here in the top 5. Matthew Rodriguez, last time we were at a speedway, he went to victory lane, so no surprise to see him doing good here at another speedway. And here comes Jake Rogers, got by Charles Jackson for the 8th position, and now he's going for 7th off of Eli Bright. That 98 car is fast. Question is, though, does he have enough time to get up there? I think he may need another caution flag to have a shot at this win. There's 13 laps to go just now as Zach Flickinger just hit the stripe. But Rogers has fought his way from 22nd to 7th, and he's looking for more. Meanwhile, Zach Flickinger showing the way. He now has 2 seconds in hand back to Jordan Lopez. Lopez has about another 0.8 of a second back to Vernio, and then it's almost 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds back to this battle from 4th place on back. Eli Bright now trying to hang on to the 8th position over Charles Jackson. A couple of drivers that were trying to run him down for the points lead running behind him. There they both are. 28 car right there of Matt Haas, and then the other yellow car there in your shot is Jacob Rose in the 5. They came in 1 and 3 points respectively back. Noah Cars is a lap down. He came in 5 points back in 4th, and Cole Baker is apparently somewhat off the pace. There he is. He's all the way back there. He is 21st. Last car on the lead lap. So right now, things looking good for Eli Bright to grow his points lead heading into next week's race. Next week, I think, is going to be the start of back-to-back road course races. As we've gone road course speedway, road course speedway, road course speedway. Next week we go to Toronto, and the following week we go to Mid-Ohio. So we don't continue the road course speedway alternation next week. After that we do go to Pocono, and after that Sonoma, and then Indianapolis. So after Mid-Ohio we do road course speedway alternation again, but right in the middle of the season we've got 2 back-to-back road courses. Zach Flickinger, though, we talked about him having that really good run last week at Road America. That was his best finish of the season, was actually his first top 5 of the year. He ended up finishing out that race in the 5th position. And it jumped him up to 18th in the point standings. This win, if he's able to close out the deal tonight, will certainly help to continue his quest up through the point standings. Top 3 still there, and here comes Jake Rogers trying to get himself up here towards the top 5. He's going for 6th place off Matthew Rodriguez. Jake Rogers, one of the strongest cars tonight. He might have had something for Flickinger if he'd been up there, but whatever that unscheduled stop was where they had to change left side tires, that obviously cost him, but he wants to try and make the best of it. He's taken 6th from Matthew Rodriguez. He's looking for more. He's going to go for 5th off Austin LaPlante. He almost ran into the back of him there going into 3. Good run right now for Jake Rogers. 15th in the point standings. This will be a good points day for him, as well as for Austin LaPlante and Carson Gum. Vernio, 12th in points. Looks like he may finish the day out in 3rd. Jordan Lopez, 13th in points. Looks like he'll get runner-up. Well, maybe not. Vernio's starting to slowly reel him in. And now Zach Flickinger, before the checkered flag wave, is going to have to deal with slower traffic. Cole Baker, who is apparently not up to speed, going to be in his way. Let's see how Flickinger deals with him. He's going to try and get to the inside. Baker wasn't going to give him much room, but Flickinger says, I'll make room. And he'll get to the inside and put Baker between himself and second place. 3 laps to go for the 15. This battle for second, as I said, seemingly starting to close up, and if they catch Cole Baker, it may end up being a pretty good battle. Going to have about 2 more laps to be able to try and make something of this is Vernio. I don't know if they'll catch Cole Baker before that happens. Baker just hit the line now. Flickinger, 2 laps to go here at Iowa. He has all but dominated this race. He had a caution come out, which almost looked like it might level the playing field again, but immediately when the green came back out, he went to work on opening the gap between himself and the rest of the field. One more time around here at Iowa Speedway. Zach Flickinger looking to make it 6 for 6 here in the NNSCRA Gaming IndyCar Series. 6 races, 6 different race winners. Through turns 3 and 4, he'll turn for the checkers. Zach Flickinger will pick up his second top 5 of the season, but this time it's a checkered flag as he'll win here today at Iowa. Last week was his first top 5, a 5th place at Road America. Tonight, he gets himself a victory at a short track. Flickinger coming into this race at an average finish of about 14th, and that's 14th out of 22 cars. That will definitely go down to a lower number tonight after him taking this checkered flag. Pretty good race. We only had 2 cautions, and those 2 cautions were for a single car spin and a 2-car spin. A lot of people coming to this race thought that maybe Iowa Speedway being a short track, it'd be a race of attrition, but it really was not the case. Flickinger will bring the win home over 3 seconds over Jordan Lopez and Tripantacchi Vernio, but good runs for both of them. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this might be both of their first podium finishes of the season. Vernio had 1 other top 5 before this. Lopez had none. This is his first top 5. Let me check and see where Vernio's other top 5 was real quickly. Oh, he does. This is his second podium for Tripantacchi Vernio. He finished 3rd at Texas, our last Speedway race. So his second podium of the season, but first of the season for Jordan Lopez. It's actually Zach Flickinger's first podium of the season as well. His highest finishing up to this point was 5th place last week. Carson Gumbel finished the night out in 4th, so I think this will move him into the top 5 in the standings. Austin LaPlante, well-needed run for him. This is his best finish since that runner-up finish back at St. Petersburg. He'll get a top 5. Matthew Rodriguez finishes out the evening in 6th, so he'll move back into the top 10 in points. Jake Rogers, what a comeback for that driver right there, as he ended up having that unscheduled stop, gave up the lead to come down pit road, fought his way back from the tail end of the field up to finish in 7th. Eli Bright, he may grow his points lead heading into next week. He's got an 8th place finish tonight. Charles Jackson finishes in 9th, and 10th place for Matt Haas. Now, Matt came into this race 3rd in the point standings, 3 points back, so I think the gap now between himself and Eli Bright will be 5 points heading into next week's race at Toronto. Jonathan Zorlin gets 11th. Jacob Rose there in 12th. He lost 4 points to Eli Bright, so I think, and this is just on speculation, just doing this in my head, I think that Eli Bright will have a 5-point lead over both Matt Haas and Jacob Rose. I think they'll be tied for second in points. Nathan Orman gets 13th. Alexander Rowe and Kev Shearer both wrecked, bringing out our second caution. They finished 14th and 15th. Mason Wood in 16th. Johnny Gardner 17th. Chris Dodd, second straight week, he's had a poor finish. He finishes 18th. Jay Jefferson in 19th. And Pichu London completes the top 20. London is dropping through the standings as well, just like Chris Dodd. Cole Baker and Noah Kars both finished off the lead lap. Baker due to damage from the first caution, and Noah Kars due to an unscheduled pit stop under our first green flag run. So they will finish 21st and 22nd. So the point standings, I think, will definitely shake up. I think we're going to see a couple of drivers maybe drop out of the top 5 in points, like Noah Kars and Cole Baker. I think you might see some drivers like Carson Gum, potentially Matthew Rodriguez or Tripantacchi Vernio maybe jump up into the top 5 in the point standings, but I think it's going to be the top three, being Eli Bright by 5 points over Jacob Rose and Matt Haas heading to next week's race. Next week, we go road course racing once again. It'll be our first of 2 back-to-back road course stops, as we'll be heading north to Toronto Raceway. Hope you'll tune in for that. If you enjoyed tonight's race, be sure to give us a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Zach Flickinger becomes the 6th different race winner in our 6th race of the season. We've shown you full official results. These are your point standings heading to next week's race at Toronto. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching production of NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.